Okay, gentlemen, welcome back. In this video, you asked about maintenance and how to specifically build more muscle. So we're going to be going over this in extreme detail. Stick around until I move the whiteboard or turn the whiteboard over and show you what's on the back, because I'm going to tell you exactly the amount of calories you need to hit in maintenance, given your current body style, activity level, height, the whole nine. So building muscle, the title of this video, building muscle is easy. Everyone says building muscle is easy, right? How? How is it easy? Let's break it down. Because a lot of these guys, right, are telling you, you gotta get big, you gotta bulk, you gotta be in a surplus. All lies, gentlemen. All lies. Why the hell would you work your ass off to get extremely lean? Right? 6-pack, 8-pack, veins, chin, nice jawline, shoulders, tapered waistline, and then all of a sudden, oh, well, to put on a little bit of muscle, I guess I gotta bulk up and look like shit for summer. Negative. So pay attention, gentlemen. The first thing you need to do, this is what you have to understand, whether you are at someone whether you are at my level, whether you are 20% body fat, 22% body fat, and you want to put on more muscle, whether you are 12% body fat and you want to put on muscle. The biggest first thing I can give you is get lean first. Get lean first so you don't have to put on as much muscle, because when you are lean, right, lean is law, you're going to look bigger. Now, I know in this video I don't look that big, but if you saw me in the real world in person, you'd say, damn, he's pretty big. I'm 5'10", 182, about 9-10% body fat. I'm not ripped, but 9 to 10% right now, 182. A lot of you are saying, well, I want to be 205 and 6%. Impossible. Impossible as a natural. So get lean first. You'll look bigger without having to put on as much muscle, and you'll just look overall more impressive. So number one, get lean first. Lean is law. You only need to do it once. You only need to get lean once, gentlemen. I've said this in other videos. Once you get lean, you can stay lean and effectively put on more muscle and just enjoy your life. If you want a cocktail from here time to time, sure. But you gotta get lean and you gotta do it, and it only takes one time. Well, how do we do it? I don't wanna go into detail in this specific video on how to actually get lean, right? I have a ton of other videos on that, but in case you wanna refresh or recap, calories, macros, boom, done. You gotta know them. Nutrition protocol, boom, done. Are you eating correct? There is a massive difference between eating clean and eating correct. Many of you are eating clean, but you are not eating correct. If you want to lose the stubborn belly fat, the fat around the lower back, under your arms, and look better, more like a man, more masculine, you have to eat correct, not just clean. Eating clean isn't going to do the trick anymore. It's 2026. You have to eat correct. Training, done. You got to train to put on muscle, duh. We're going to talk about that on the back. And then the rest, sleep, recovery, fatigue management. If you do not know how to recover, rest, and manage fatigue, good luck. You're going to have a very hard time putting on muscle and getting lean and staying lean and putting on the muscle, because that's ultimately what you want. You don't want to just get lean, and you don't want to just bulk up. You want to look good. That's called body recomposition or body recomp in the bodybuilder world. I know I'm not a bodybuilder, but you want to put on as much muscle as you can and get as lean as you can while still looking, while still eating and living like a normal human being. And that's what we teach and preach. And you can do that, but you have to understand calories, macros, nutrition protocol, training, sleep, recovery, fatigue. Get lean once. Getting lean is law. You only need to do it once. So moving on to maintenance calories. What do the calories look like? What is the actual breakdown to stay lean year round and amazing, with a great physique, jawline, V-taper, veins, the whole nine. Summer's coming up. I look great. I'm ready. How did I do this? Maintenance calories. You have to understand maintenance calories. Once you get lean, gentlemen. So let's go over the maintenance calories because 99.9% of looking fantastic all year round and getting pretty much being able to eat whatever you want within the confinements of an animal-based style of eating comes down to how good are you at maintenance? How good are you at maintenance? So let's find out. Calories, 15 to 16 times your body weight that you'd like to maintain or that you're at. If you're cutting, this isn't for you. This is for someone like myself, like my friend Andy, like my friend Broderick, like our coaches Reed, Chris, Jason, Nick, Will that work for our company that want to stay lean once they've gotten lean. Remember, lean is law. So 180 pounds times 16. That's the unit we use at American Stallion. 15 to 16 for maintenance. Now, this is on the lower end. I go into detail on the back. There's the everyday guy, which is most likely you. Then there's the hybrid guys. Then there's the endurance and combat protocol. Guys like me, right? The guys that are really pushing ultramarathon, Ironman, truly endurance athletes and doing combat level training. But for most of you, 180 times 15 to 16 calories is perfect. This puts us somewhere around 2,800 calories. Low for me, but remember, I'm endurance combat level. I'm training a lot. So it's low for me, but for you, 28 to 3,000 is a great spot. Man, that's a lot of calories. I don't think I can eat that much. You're not lean and metabolically healthy. That's what that tells me. You're not healthy. You are not metabolically healthy. If you are a full-grown man in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, and you cannot eat 2,800 calories without gaining weight and being stuffed and full, you are not metabolically healthy and or lean and functioning at your optimum. If you're like, well, I eat 2,000 calories and I'm stuffed, you have a massive problem. Your body is fucked up. It's fucked up. That's why you're not burning any fat. That's why you're yo-yoing. That's why you're binging at night. Some weeks you do good. Most weeks you do bad. Your metabolism, your hormones, your thyroid, your testosterone, your leptin, your ghrelin hormones, they're all messed up. From chronic dieting, restricting, eating incorrectly, eating clean but not correct. So, gentlemen, remember, conservative. These maintenance calories, 15 to 16, are conservative values. Numbers. Shouldn't say values. Okay, Steve, well, tell me about fat. You gave me the calories, right? 2,800 calories, roughly 2,900. How do we calculate fat? Patience. I'm going to tell you. For my lifters only, right? Guys that are just going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, lifting, getting some steps, some NEAT, and already lean, you're looking at 30 to 35% of your total calories. So, math, 28 to somewhere around 100-ish, right? 2,800 calories divided by 0.30, right? 30% is roughly 100-ish grams of fat. Most of you should be 100 to 120 grams of fat anyways. At maintenance, as a metabolically healthy human being, you can push it up higher too, depending on how healthy you are and how much you prefer fat over carbohydrate. These are for my lifters, okay? Now, for my hybrid guys, endurance combat guys, active and healthy, right? 25 to 30% of your total calories. Why? is it lower? It's lower because we need more carbs. These guys need more carbs. They're running, they're swimming, they're cycling, they're doing Metcons, high rocks. These guys need to be eating more carbohydrates, more glucose, glycogen. The liver and the brain need glucose and glycogen. We've discussed this in many videos on my YouTube and my Instagram. So you need to be slightly lower here in the fat department, right? Because you're going to be higher in carbs. And you're going to be higher in carbs because you need it. You're running, you're sprinting, you're hiking, you're swimming, you're biking, you're doing ski erg, rower, high rocks, Spartan race, I don't know, whatever you're into. So you need more carbs. So that, therefore, the fat needs to be lower. Like I said, 20-ish, 25 to 30. You can go down to 20. 20 is a little low, but 25 to 30%. Because most, if not all of you, right, are going to be somewhere here. 1 to 4. You're saying 1 to 4. What does that mean? 1 to 4, this is the amount of carbs. You take your body weight in kilograms multiplied by 4. This is the amount of hours you are active throughout the course of the week. So if you're weightlifting 4 times a week and each session is an hour long, and I mean that's like you're weightlifting for an hour, not warm up, talk to the chick at the front counter. No. I'm talking about you're in the gym training, moving steel and iron for an hour. 4 times a week, you will be at 4, right? 1 hour times 4 days is 4. Duh. 1 times 4. So that's 4 hours. So that would mean if you are roughly 80-ish kilograms, remember, this has to be in kilograms, guys, not pounds. Well, we're in America, I know, but this only works in kilograms, this formula I've made. And this, everyone use endurance athletes, hybrid athletes, this is the standard. This isn't like I made this, I didn't make this up. We use this, it works. But kilograms, 80, boom, that's roughly 320 grams of carbs, which is still pretty low. But if you're only in this category, that's on par. Somewhere around 250 to 300 grams, 350 grams of carbs a day. For most of you who are trying to put on muscle in maintenance is where you want to be. Now, the guys who are doing lifting and running or swimming or biking or rowing, hybrid, right? High rocks, whatever. You guys are likely doing a bit more activity because the hybrid guys, the high rocks guys, they're going to be weightlifting and they're going to be running. So you need to be hitting more carbohydrates, right? Same thing. If you're doing 6 hours a week, right? Let's say you're doing 3 weightlifting sessions and 3 runs. And it's coming out to 6 hours total or cumulative of output or activity level. You're going to take that 6 times your body weight in kilograms, boom, there's your carbohydrates. And then, guys, 8 to 12 is advanced. That's the category I would be in. These are my endurance and combat guys. Guys going to war, guys training for combat. Or maybe you're not going to combat, but you want to train at you're doing Metcons, you're running, you're doing hybrid, you're training Ironman, ultramarathon. This isn't many of you. So I'm going to write it down. Not many. This isn't many. Most, if not all of you, will fall in this department. Obviously, 100 to 400 grams, 400 grams of carbs if you're around 80 kilos. Timing is huge. As we've discussed in another video, say it with me. Beef, eggs, dairy. Beef, eggs, dairy, carbs. Beef, eggs, dairy, carbs. Beef, eggs, dairy, and then there's carbs. So you need to know, well, what carbs? Well, I've said it in other videos, but timing those carbs is huge. So you have your pre-training carbs and post and or intra if you're in this category. Sometimes these guys. But you have your pre-training, intra, post carbs. You want to have most of these carbs somewhere in here, guys. Pre, intra, post. So you're not stacking, bleeding over glycogen. Like imagine like you're filling up a car with gas, petrol, and you don't check on it. What's going to happen? The gas is going to come out. It's the same thing with your muscles. You want to fill your muscles with fuel, aka glycogen, carbs, glucose. But if you begin to overfill it, you'll have what's called spillover. That's that watery, soft look. It's not necessarily fat, it's just water, which is good for performance, bad for aesthetics. So anyways, timing is huge. That's how you'll prevent that. Lastly, training. How do we specifically put on more muscle? Progressive overload. You have to be challenging yourself on a daily basis, and you have to be very intentional with your training sessions. Squatting, hinging, pressing, pulling, carrying, every session. How you split it up is up to you, gentlemen. At American Stallion, we have multiple ways that we like to do it, but we like squatting, hinging, pressing, pulling, carrying. The staples of being a good man. You need to know how to do all this, and you need to know how to do it well, and this is ultimately how you're going to put on muscle. Can you put on muscle doing bro splits, machines? Yeah, you can, but this is the most effective way. Heavy and consistent, that's your intensity. Weight must go up. As long as it's going up, it doesn't have to go up every session, or even weekly, but as long as it's going up, you're going to be building muscle. Well, mine's not going up. It's not happening. Okay. Check your recovery, nutrition, mindset. If your recovery is off, it's not going to go up. If your nutrition is off, you're eating clean, but you're not eating correct, it's not going to go up. If your mindset is off and you're not lifting with intensity, or you don't have the energy because your nutrition recovery is off, it's not going to go up. So this is the foundation, gentlemen. Building muscle is very easy. You must get lean first. Lean is law. You only need to do it once. Then you can focus on building muscle. Can you build muscle on your way down when you're cutting? Yes. It's just you're going to have a lot easier of a time doing progressive overload when you're at maintenance. So that's it for this video, gentlemen. I hope you learned something. As always, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. And if you would like to work one-on-one with me and my team at American Stallion, I will put in a coaching link, application link, in the description below. As always, gentlemen, God bless you. I hope you have a good week. And hopefully one day I will see you at the top.